Hello, everyone. This is Dimple Mehta, and you are listening to Our Quest. Podcast for today is about preventing burnout as a working mother. In the previous weeks, we've already discussed about balancing work and motherhood, about mom guilt, and I hope this episode further contributes towards your growth. Thank you so much for taking out the time to listen to this. Thank you so much for being with us here today. I'm truly, truly grateful. If you haven't already, please give us a quick rating or review on the Apple Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Links in description. Joining us today is a dear friend of mine who is mother of twins, a boy and a girl, an entrepreneurial working mother fulfilling the challenging role of being the founder and creative consultant of an advertising agency called Think Human in Dubai, UAE. She is Nisha Wagh. Welcome to the show, Nish.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel about it? Are you excited?
I'm excited. For me, it's just sitting and talking out to you.
Awesome. That's what we need. Okay. Diving in straight into the first question that I have on mind. We know being an entrepreneur is challenging. We know being a mother is challenging for so many. For a working mom of twins who is a successful entrepreneur, can being a working mother be challenging?
Well, Dimple, I think I would be lying if I tell you that it is not challenging. Every day, every second of your life, you're fighting to be a good mother, to be a good, role model to your employees, to run a business, and you just go with the flow. To be honest with you, and yes, there are a lot of things that you could probably do to overcome those challenges, but again, as a mother, we all face these challenges on a daily basis.
Statistics and research show that working mothers often experience burnout. Why do you think it is that way? Why do you think working mothers experience burnout?
I think burnout, comes from one very simple word, which is multitasking. We're constantly multitasking, we're constantly thinking, we're constantly trying to find solutions and uh, you know solve problems on a daily basis, from the beginning, from the first time you wake up.
Actually, it doesn't matter whether you're just waking up or you're going to sleep. I think as a working mother, even when you're going to sleep, you're retrospecting what's pending from today's to-do list, what is there that I have to plan for tomorrow, and then when you wake up, you're like, okay, I first have to finish that spending. I then have to plan about what's there ahead in the
That's so
day.
true. Yeah, that's so true. That's the thing, actually. You're right. It's your mind is constantly working. There is no break. You have to, think about the grocery list. You have to think about work. You have to think about what to pack for your kids' lunchbox. You have to do their homework. You have to come home and sit with them. Then
And
you
the birthday parties
Oh my
and the school parent teachers meetings.
Exactly, and the Google calendars. You have to make sure that you don't miss out on any birthdays. Otherwise, you're gonna have a tough time, telling your kids, "Oh my God, I missed it out." Buy the gifts for the birthday party. It's and with twins, it's double the work, because you have two classes, you have two sets of birthday parties to manage.
And balancing the interest between the twins who can have two drastically extremely opposite interests.
Exactly, that's so right, and that's the thing. And I have twins, boy and girl, and balancing that out, making sure that no one, not one particular interest is favored, or we're not doing one thing, we're not just always going for football or basketball, we're also doing girly stuff. Making sure that at the same time, you're balancing it out at home. You're making sure that the chores are done. You're making sure that the chores are done correctly, and not to forget the work and the emails and constant client calls. So it is tough. It is tough, and it is more tough, especially when your kids come and ask you. I remember once, I was just sitting down, and it was a very busy month for me, and Arush, comes and tells me, "Mama, you need a break." And honestly, I was shocked. I was shocked that my kids are noticing that. Mama, you're constantly working, and that kind of stops you in your tracks, and be like, think about it. That yes, then again a guilt comes in. Oh my God, if my kids are actually noticing that, Am I doing something wrong? Am I not giving them enough time? Then you even do much more and you push yourself even more. So again, it's a circle. It's just a circle of multitasking, guilt, and it never ends.
That's so true. I'm sure so many mothers go through the same things like you just expressed. But I think that there would be signs that we all have around us to know while we are burning out. And if we are careful and if we watch out for the signs, we can probably take better care of ourselves. So, what are the signs that we have to know that we probably could be burning out?
I would say the signs are different for everyone, right? It depends on how far you push your body. Well, if you ask me, I can only say from my personal experience, I have noticed burnout obviously many times, right? My first year when the kids were born was extremely tough. Less sleep. Okay, I wasn't working for first 6 months, and then after that, when I started working, I was struggling to balance it out, right? And obviously, there's less sleep, and there is constant irritation as well. And now, if I ask myself, what have I done to my body? And and I can tell you that I have all the possible deficiencies you can think of, right? So going back to the signs of work again, you have to see for yourself, right, how it's affecting you. Are you getting irritated constantly? Are you getting extremely tired? Are you shrugging things under the carpet and not facing it? Are you not finding enough time to do something for yourself? Are you struggling to sleep? Are you constantly upset? These are the things we, I think, sometimes forget to ask ourselves, right?
So true. And sometimes it could simply be that craving that I wish somebody cared for me a little more. I wish somebody would have asked me about whether I had breakfast or not, whether I had lunch or dinner or not. It's just me checking on my husband or checking on my kids or caring about my employees.
I think that's true. I really feel having a strong partner is so important in such scenarios, who will constantly care for you. I have been really lucky for in that matter. I guess sometimes you also have to understand that sometimes your partner is not probably understanding the signs of your burnout, and it's okay to say it. As working moms, I would rather say, we do have a little bit of I wouldn't call it an ego, but some a
Ambition.
perfection, to be a perfectionist. I think we have this drive to be a perfectionist, and because we have this drive to be a perfectionist, we do not accept that we're doing things wrong.
Yeah.
We do not accept that probably I'm not being able to manage it. So it's all about accepting that, okay, you know what, I really can't do this. And I've had these situations where I push myself, okay, I can do it, yes, I can do it. And then when I can't, I would literally just pick up my phone and then be like, then I cannot. I just cannot. And when that happens, it happens rarely, but when that happens, he knows it. He knows it, and he just steps it up.
Yeah.
So it's so important, I think, to voice it out,
Yeah.
to your partner. I think he's the only one who can support you in this
Journey.
struggle,
Yeah.
in this journey, because I read somewhere, and it said that very ambitious women have either no partners or a very supportive partner.
That's so true because that's the only way how it can be.
Exactly. Otherwise, really, you just cannot survive without a very supportive partner. And I'm blessed to actually have that kind of comfort zone to fall back on whenever I want it to be. Because yes, going back to being a perfectionist mother, or trying to be a perfectionist mother,
Who's working and delivering.
exactly, you don't want to be seen weak.
Yeah.
You don't want to be seen not being able to manage.
So now that we already know that it's kind of inevitable for a working mother to experience burnout, and there would always be signs when she is getting burnout, what can a working mom do to prevent from getting burnout?
So prevention is something, I would say it's probably tough, but finding the right signs, right, to tackle it, I would say, right, is important. It's important to, you know, just reduce the burnout. Because you can't run away from your, you know, responsibilities. You still have to multitask. You cannot be like, okay, that's it, I'm not doing anything. But you just have to make sure that you find time for yourself. Going back to the same thing, talk to your partner when you feel the signs are going, you know, above the limit. You know, and admit it. Sometimes, you know, admit that, okay, you know, you're doing wrong. And trust me, I am not a good example for saying that, because even sometimes I struggle to admit it, right? But what I've realized is, you know, sometimes just going out with your girls, you know, doing something different from your routine, going out on a date night. Then, you know, I'll give you a friend of mine just told me that she reached home and she watched an entire episode in her car. She sat there in the car and watched her entire episode. And I was like, wow. She's like, Nish, that was like freedom. You know, I just didn't go inside the house. I was like, that's it, I can't handle this. You know, because obviously, you know, at this age we have kids who are like 7 8 year olds, and very difficult to manage them. Very difficult. You walk in and you have the nose to deal with. I'm not going to brush my teeth, I'm not going to go to sleep. And because she knew she was reaching that burnout stage, she decided to sit in her car and watch an episode. And I was like, wow, bravo, you know? So these are the things. Talk to other moms, you know, the things that you learn by just talking to other moms, it's amazing. Because each one of us finds our own way of dealing with this, right? And you learn from it.
That's so true. If I may just add, what has worked out for me is I have established it very clearly to everybody who knows me that I am available only from 7 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock in the evening. So no matter, so no matter what
Yeah.
happens, no matter whatever it is, whether it's work, whether it's something, if probably my husband wants to have something else for dinner, or my child wants to overstay instead of sleeping at the right bedtime, I don't care. If you need me, I'm available only till 8 p.m. Beyond that, you're on your own. So, because I have put that
Boundaries.
boundary that I'm not going to be overworking beyond that time, and I'm going to just sit back and relax, meditate, work out, read a book, do whatever that I want to do
Mm,
beyond 8 o'clock, or just have some time for myself and do nothing.
exactly. Yeah.
So that has helped me. So the point I think that both of us are trying to make is that working mothers need more care for themselves than just a mother or just an entrepreneur or just a professional, because you're doing dual roles, both of the roles being so consuming, as a mom and as a working professional. You need to pay higher attention towards care for yourself, and you need to make sure you have time for yourself, and you need to make sure you do things which make you happy, because when you're happy you'll be able to deliver more happiness to people around you.
Exactly. I so agree with that. If you're happy, you know, your family's happy, your work is going smooth. That's so true. And, you know, you said it right. You really need to sometimes, put the boundaries. Now, again, going back to the boundaries, I'll give you an example of my schedule. Okay. Is I'm not available from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So this is my block out time, because what happens is after 9 p.m. I again open my laptop and work. So going back to the burnout, as you can see, it's never like, okay, 6 to 9 is for your kids. After 9 is back to work again, you know? So this is something I am trying to stop. You know, this is something like, you know, I'm really trying to achieve. This is my goal for this year, that, you know what, I'm actually going to do something for myself. Like, again, I have identified the problem, right? The most important thing is you identify that it is affecting you, you know. and try to find solutions out of it, you know.
So beautifully said.
Yeah.
And probably you will be able to establish better boundary for yourself,
Exactly.
where you won't be overworking yourself and you won't be burning out yourself.
Exactly.
Now that we know that burnout is inevitable, signs are there, we can prevent it, yet we still sink into it. And sometimes we see our friends, our family members sinking into it right in front of our eyes. What can we as working moms do to help other fellow working mothers prevent from getting burnout? What can we do to offer help?
So your friend circle is obviously so important, right? And I've been blessed to have friends who are all mums of the same age of kids, and you know, we constantly try to share our experiences, and we have a WhatsApp group, and you know, we always give our own experiences, tips, and learning from other moms, like I said earlier as well, is so important, right? Picking them up. Now how? I'll give you an example. I think my friends realized it, and they're like, let's go out. We need a girls night out, let's just go out. Obviously after, like, it was a Friday, and now we all work on Fridays. And every time you come back home, you're like excited, yeah, 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 we're gonna go out. And then when the kids go to sleep, you're already tired, and you just have to make an extra effort to like get ready and just go out. All three of us were in that stage of like, should we just cancel it? Should we just cancel it? And then, one of them was like, no, we are doing this. And we went out. And honestly, it was a 2 hour, 3 hour night, but it just was so refreshing. Just so refreshing. You're just talking, and there is no judging. That's another important point that I would like to make. Do not judge other
No
moms.
labels.
Exactly. Please do not judge other moms. Everyone's doing their best. And that is one thing. Even if you don't want to help, even if you don't want to give an advice, just don't judge, because I think this is the biggest problem that, we as moms face, where we get judged. Oh my God, look at her daughter. Her hair is not made all the time. Look at that. The son, how is he, dressed up like this? And how can she give this in her lunchbox, so things like that. I mean, these are the things that, let's say, add more pressure to the mom. And then, you are actually inflicting that sort of a pain, and you're inflicting a burnout on someone else, because they are really trying very hard to do something, and you are dissing it. And another very important thing I would like to add is, like, for mothers, don't look for encouragement, don't look for appreciation. You're doing the best, so don't look for it, because when you look for it and when you expect it is when you kind of feel that you're being judged. So as myself, I try to be like, okay, if that person wants to judge me, so be it, fine. So don't let that affect you. You're doing your best, and keep telling that to yourself.
That's so true. And just adding to what you just said about self doubt or looking for appreciation or looking for validation, you as a mom are doing your best, and nobody else can know that better than you.
Yeah.
Of course, health and safety of your child is a priority, but beyond that, whatever you can or cannot do, it's all fine. No pressure added. There's no rule book to justify that this is what's going to make you a good or a bad mom. As long as your child is healthy and safe and just growing up fine, it's all fine.
Exactly, exactly.
So
And there is no particular set way of parenting. That is, so you have your own parenting, someone else has their own parenting. Live and let be.
beautiful. Thank you so much, Nish, for sharing these wonderful thoughts and experiences, for being this extraordinary working mother of twins, a boy and a girl who can be going in such opposite directions, and a work which requires you to be so creative, which can be so consuming, and juggling through all of these roles. Of course, you still are a mother, sorry, you still are a wife, a daughter, a sister, and you have to cater to so many other roles. But these roles, the role of a mother and the role of a working professional, already consume like 90% of you, and yet you're here smiling, sharing. So bravo for that. I'm sure some working mom out there who might be burning out would relate to this and probably take better care of herself and figure her way out from the burnout.
Yes, I hope so. I hope, this sharing experiences, as as I said earlier, is the best way of understanding. So one of the other things that you need to do for yourself is just some time alone. There is no harm in be like, I'm just going, I need an hour break. Go for a coffee alone, stare at the sky, look at the people around, go to the spa, get your nails done, go for a massage. Just do something for yourself. Take a book, read. I have not read in years and I love reading. So the other day when I felt that, what, I just need some time off, I just took my book, went to a cafe and read. It was 30 minutes only. I managed 30 minutes, but that was an achievement.
And that day, I'm sure you would be happy to take that 30 minutes out for yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So just do something for yourself. Do something that makes you happy. Do not deny the signs and ask for help.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Dimple, for providing me this platform and sharing my experiences. I hope somewhere, someone, some mom has been influenced a little bit, even if a thought has crossed your mind that I think I have those signs. You know what you have to do. Just listen to yourself and do what makes you happy.
That's a wrap for today. You have been listening to Our Quest. This is Dimple Mehta signing out. If you haven't already, please give us a quick review and rating on Apple Podcast. And don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Links in description. See you next week, same time, same place.